Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is metals and that of the non-metals, we were talking about that of the displacement reaction, and we have seen that in case of a displacement reaction, according to the reactivity series, there are metals which are more reactive than the other, and the property of these metals that they are able to displace the less reactive metal. Okay, so in case of a displacement reaction, we have seen that the more reactive metal displaces the less reactive metal. Okay, now if suppose we have seen we already know about this reaction of that iron react with the copper sulfate. So since iron is more reactive than that of the copper which is present in that of the copper sulfate, so we will say that iron will displace the copper and form iron sulfate, while that of the copper will remain as it is, or it will come out. Okay, so here is what the more reactive displaces the less reactive. So this was all about the displacement reaction, and this displacement reaction we will be able to understand it well with the help of the reactivity series. Now let us see that of the other, that is the corrosion. Already we have seen that of the corrosion. Student, what is the corrosion? Corrosion is a process in which the metals it get corroded. It means the upper surface of the metal it get eaten up by the action of the moisture and the air. So it is because of the air, it is because of the moisture, it reacts with the metal, and finally there is a formation of another substance on that of the another layer of the substance on that of the surface of the metal, and which we called it as a corrosion. In the corrosion, student, we have already seen that the iron, okay, so iron used to react with that of the iron react with that of the air and moisture, and finally it will form the iron oxide, which is a hydrated iron oxide, that is Fe2O3 dot H2O is there. Now not only this, if we talk about the silver, so silver react with that of the react with the air, with the moist air, and actually it react with the hydrogen sulfide gas, and due to which there is a formation of a copper hydroxide or copper carbonate. Okay, now we have seen here that you see students, if we say that in case of the copper, okay, in case of the silver, right now I said, sorry for that, the copper react with that of the carbon dioxide, water and oxygen to form the copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. But if we talk about the silver, so silver react with the hydrogen sulfide, and thus there is a formation of a silver sulfide, which is a grey in color, which is we can say a black in color. Okay, so silver it react with that of the hydrogen sulfide to form the silver sulfide. I'm sorry for that, student, that copper it will react with the moist air along with the carbon dioxide and formation of a copper hydroxide and copper carbonate occur. Okay, so for copper hydroxide and copper carbonate will be formed, which is the what? It is the you can say it's a grey color, and here the black substance of the silver sulfide is formed when silver react with that of the hydrogen sulfide. So I hope till that you have understood that in the metals different types of corrosion occur. Now let us move on and see that is any other also there, student. Yes, in case of the aluminium. So pure aluminium is what? It is the metal. So this aluminium will also react with the oxygen, means in the present, which is present in that of the atmosphere, and there is a formation of the aluminium oxide. This aluminium oxide will make the surface of the aluminium looks dull. Okay, so pure aluminium reacts with the oxygen to form aluminium oxide. to form aluminium oxide on its surface, which makes the surface dull. Okay, which makes the surface dull. So this happens with that of the in case of the aluminium. So you see student, likewise the corrosion occur in the different metal. In case of iron also, iron oxide is formed, hydrated iron oxide is formed. In case of copper, copper hydroxide and copper carbonate is formed. In case of silver, silver sulfide is formed as it react with the hydrogen sulfide. In case of aluminium, it react with the oxygen and form aluminium oxide. Now, these corrosion is not good because obviously it makes it weaken, it changes the color. So there must be some methods that we can apply to prevent the chances of the corrosion. Now let us see that what are the different methods by which we can prevent the corrosion. So methods of preventing corrosion. Methods of preventing corrosion. Obviously, suppose whenever we are saying that the corrosion, it means that the surface of the layer of the metal get corroded. So normally if we talk about the layer, about the surface, so here we should remember that if the layer is coated with something, then the reaction will not occur and finally we can prevent the corrosion here. So we can write it coating the surface, coating the surface of metal object, coating the surface of the metal object by layer of paint or grease, by layer of paint, grease, even oil also. So oil or grease. So if suppose we will make a layer of a grease or we will paint it, so what happens? The upper layer will not be exposed to the oxygen or to the moisture and no reaction can take place. So if we will paint it or we apply oil and grease, then there is a formation of a layer which prevents the reaction and cause corrosion. The second thing, that making alloys. I'll tell you what is alloy. Let me write it, that making alloys with other metal. Making alloys with other metals or non-metal. Other metals or non-metals which are corrosion resistant. Okay, making alloys with metal or other metal or non-metal which are corrosion resistant. Now you see, what is the alloy, students? Generally what happened, we are saying that the metals, they in the metals only the corrosion occur. Okay, so if we will mix two metals together in which one of them is a corrosion resistant, so what will happen? This will also makes the corrosion free, means it will also prevent the corrosion to the particular metal. Like you see, student, if we see steel is there, so in steel never corrosion occur, or in case of a brass also. Okay, so there also there will be no formation of a corrosion, or it does not, the layer of it does not get corroded. So there either we have taken two metal like zinc or iron we have taken. So when we mix together, then what will happen? There is a formation of a new thing like that of the brass. So this is what? It will be a resistant free. It will be a more resistance to that of the corrosion. Okay. So alloys are what? It is formed by mixing one metal with the other metal or one metal to a non-metal. Next one is that galvanization. What is the galvanization, students? Again, formation of another layer. So here, covering the metal with a corrosion resistant metal, that is known as the galvanization. We can write it. Covering the metal with a corrosion resistant metal is called galvanization. Example is, student, here you see that in iron object covers with the zinc, and zinc is what? It is very less reactive, okay, or unreactive, you can say, zinc metal. You see here also in case of alloys, we are mixing two metals with each other to prevent corrosion. In case of alloys, students, alloys is not only made to make the metal more corrosion resistant, but it will also provide a strength to it. It will make the metal more strong or resistance to other thing also. But here when we talk about the galvanization, the purpose of doing this galvanization is to prevent the corrosion only. So here we will going to cover the metal with a corrosion resistant metal. Okay, so if you see that iron object, you know that the iron, it reacts with that of the oxygen and water and forms the rust. So if we will cover the layer of the iron object with that of the zinc metal, so we are able to protect the iron object. Zinc is a less reactive, so it will not going to react with the oxygen, or it will prevent, because there is a formation of a layer of a zinc, so zinc will prevent the iron object to come or remain exposed to that of the oxygen or the moisture. So the direct contact, we can say, it will be cut off by the layer of a zinc on that of the iron object. So through the process of the galvanization also, we are able to separate both of them, and finally we can say that we are able to protect the metal from corrosion. Next one is electroplating. There also the same thing, the formation of a layer, another layer. Electroplating, the metal object is electroplated with another metal object. Okay, so metal object is electroplated with the another metal object. Example, iron is electroplated with tin. To prevent rusting. Okay, iron is electroplated to prevent rusting. Now you see here, student, what we have seen, these are the different kind of a prevention that we can apply to prevent the corrosion. So you have seen here that the metal object is electroplated. Metal object is electroplated to prevent the rusting. So first we have seen either we can apply paint or a layer of a oil or a grease on the surface. The second we have seen that we can make alloys by mixing two metals or two metal or non-metal, or two metal with each other to prevent the rusting or to make the metal object more corrosion resistant. Then the third one is by galvanization process, and here we will cover the metal with a corrosion resistant metal, like iron object is covered with that of the zinc. And in electroplating we will see that the metal object will be electroplated with the another object, and here you see iron, it is electroplated with the tin to prevent rusting. So these are the different methods by which we can prevent the corrosion. Now next, and see that what are the different uses of the metals and the non-metals. Why we are talking about the properties? Okay, why we are so concerned about the property? Because according to the property only we are going to use the metal or the non-metals. Uses of metals. Uses of metals. So the first one is the iron. So you see student, if we talk about the iron, it is used for many purpose. It is used for construction purpose, making bridge or the buildings with the help of the iron object. You have heard about iron sheets also. So iron sheets are also prepared with the help of this metal, and that is iron. Okay, not only this, it is also used for manufacturing the machine parts. Okay, so used for the construction, for bridges, it is used for making the machines part, as well as it is used for used in the construction or in the bridges also. The second one, student, is the aluminium. If we talk about the aluminium, aluminium is also used for making wires. It is also used for making the parts of the automobiles or aircraft. So aluminium is considered to be the third most abundant metal, and that is why it is cheap and very helpful for making the electric wires. So due to the property of a ductility, it is used in the making wires. Third one is the copper. If we talk about the copper, so copper is used for making utensils. You have heard about the utensils which is made up of a copper. It is also used for making making statues, okay, or electric wire or cable. So you have heard about the copper cable or copper wire. Okay, so used for wire, it is used for making statues, or even it is used for making that of the utensils. Fourth one is students, that is chromium. So chromium, it is used for electroplating. Chromium is used for electroplating. So let me write few of the uses of all of them one by one, so that you can have the points, that whenever the question is asked that what are the different uses of the metal, you can write it. So let us start with the iron. So what is the use of the iron? So iron is used for, it is used for making iron sheets, iron bars, iron bars is also there. Then for construction of buildings and bridges, construction of building and bridges, manufacturing machinery parts, manufacturing machinery parts, and also it is used for making utensils. So you can see here, students, that what are the different uses of the iron. Making iron sheets because of the malleability property, used for making iron bars, used for the construction of the building and bridges, and finally machinery part and the utensils. So you can see that due to the property of the malleability and ductility, these are used for such different kind of things. This is the first one. Now let us see that next it is of aluminium. Aluminium. In case of aluminium, again due to the ductility process, it is used for making electric wires. Okay, used for making electric wires. Then it is also used for making the utensils. Bodies of aircraft. Bodies of aircraft and even in the automobiles. In the automobiles, aluminium foil you have heard, student, which is used for covering the food item. So aluminium foil as well as metallic paint. Okay, so it is used for making electric wire, utensils, bodies of aircraft and automobiles, aluminium foil and metallic paint. These are the uses of aluminium. Moving on and see the next metal, and that is copper. And let us see that what are the different uses of the copper. Right now we've said the first thing that it is used for making wires and even it is used for making cables. So for making cables and wires. Then statues. Then utensils. So these are what? These are the different uses of the copper. You see, students, you have already heard about the wires and the utensils, which is made up of copper. Next one is the chromium, and even along with the chromium, nickel. These two are what? These two are the metals. So these two are used for electroplating. So to carry out the process of electroplating, chromium and nickel is used. Then lead, which is also a metal. So lead is used in nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plants. The first one. The second one, it is used for shielding in X-ray machine. Okay, so it is used in shielding of X-ray machines. Then it is also used in labs. Any other is there, students? Yes. So we will write it here. The other uses of that of the lead. So we'll continue here. So lead is used in the labs and it is used in the as a military equipment. for the military equipments. Then other places also where radiation may encountered, may be encountered. Okay, so lead is used for the nuclear power plant, it is used shielding in X-ray machine, it is used in labs, military equipment and the other places where the radiation may encounter. So these are what? These are the examples of the, or we can say these are the uses, the different uses of that of the lead. Moving on and see that a very common metal that we use is the silver and gold. You know students that silver and gold is used for making the jewelries. Silver and gold. So if you look at the silver and that of the gold, you will find that they are used for, because they are shining in appearance, they are luster, they are having luster, they are lustrous. That is why they are used for making the jewelries. Even not only this, it is also used, the platinum is also there, which is also used for making jewelries. And silver gold is also used for making coins. You have heard about silver coin or a gold coin. Okay, so used for making jewelries jewelry and coins. Okay, it is used for making jewelry and coin. Next one is the zinc. So right now I said that zinc is used in the galvanization process, and in which zinc is used for making the layer over the iron object. Okay, so zinc is used for galvanizing iron to protect it from corrosion or from rusting. Okay, so zinc is used for galvanizing iron to protect it from rusting. Next one, finally, you see student, we are knowing that all these metals are solid, but there is a metal which is a liquid one, and that metal is what? It is mercury. So what is the use of a mercury? Even though it is a liquid, but you know that mercury is very sensitive to that of the temperature. If rise in temperature, the mercury will also expand and goes in the upward direction. And where? So it occurs in thermometer. Thermometer can be anything. It can be a clinical thermometer. It means that thermometer which we used at our home, or the thermometer that is used in the laboratory, which is known as a laboratory thermometer. And these days there is another kind of a thermometer is also there, which is also called digital thermometer. Okay, digital thermometer. So we can write that mercury is used. It is used in barometers and thermometer. Okay, so it is used in barometer and thermometer. Now, barometer is basically used to find the pressure. Okay, so we can say that it is used for making, it is used in barometer and also it is used in the thermometer. So these are what students, these are the different uses of the metals, what it is used for and why it is necessary to know the properties, because according to the properties only we will decide that where we can use it for which purpose. Okay, so silver, gold, zinc, mercury, aluminium, copper, iron, these all are the different metals, and the other metals are also there which is used for the different purposes. Okay.